Women's basketball wasn't always the fast-paced, high-flying game we see today. Believe it or not, there was a time when players weren't even allowed to run full court. No fast breaks, no crossovers, just short, controlled movements because apparently women weren't supposed to get too tired. Yeah, that didn't last long. Fast forward to today, and we've got players pulling up from the logo, throwing down dunks, and breaking viewership records. So how did we get here? How did women's basketball go from a gentle version of the game to the powerhouse it is today? Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll see just how much the game has evolved and why we're only getting started. Back in 1892, when women's basketball first hit the scene, the rules were, let's just say, restrictive. The court was divided into 3 sections, and players had to stay in their assigned area. Imagine trying to score but being stuck on 1/3 of the court, like playing basketball in a traffic jam. Oh, and dribbling? Yeah, you could only take 1 bounce before you had to pass. Safe to say, the game looked very different from what we know now. But as more women started playing, the demand for real competition grew. By the 1970s, the game was finally starting to open up, thanks in large part to Title IX. This law required schools to provide equal funding for women's sports, which meant better coaching, better facilities, and most importantly, full court basketball. Imagine the relief. Wait, you're telling me we can actually run now? With that change came the first NCAA Women's Basketball Championship in 1982, and suddenly the sport had a national stage. The level of play skyrocketed, but if you look at those early games compared to today, it's like watching 2 different sports. The speed, the skill, the athleticism, it's on another level. Think about it. Could players in the 80s casually drain deep threes like Caitlin Clark? Probably not. And let's talk about dunking. For years, people said women's basketball didn't have enough above-the-rim action. Now, we've got Brittany Griner, Fran Beliebe, and Angel Reese throwing it down, and that's just the beginning. The game is faster, the players are stronger, and the style of play has evolved into something that demands respect. But it's not just about physical skill. Basketball IQ has skyrocketed, too. Today's teams rely on analytics, advanced scouting, and precise game strategies. It's not just run and gun, it's calculated. Spacing, three-point efficiency, defensive schemes, everything is fine-tuned. And with social media giving players a direct connection to fans, the sport's popularity is growing like never before. So what's next? Well, women's basketball is breaking records left and right. College games are pulling in more viewers than NBA matchups. The WNBA is expanding. And the pay gap conversation? It's heating up fast. The bottom line? This is just the beginning. Women's basketball has come a long way from half-court rules and one-bounce dribbles to being one of the most exciting sports in the world. And if the last few years are any indication, the best is still ahead. So what do you think is the biggest change in the game? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love women's basketball as much as we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, keep watching, keep supporting, and maybe start practicing those deep threes.